Okay, I want to do a short video here on something that keeps coming up a lot and a lot of people wonder about. This is Oxgard, and it is kind of a greasy stuff. As you can see, it comes out of this tube. That's what it is. What it does is when you polish track or metal in general and you rub some on, I put a little on my finger here, okay, then I rub it on the track just like that. That little film on there will dry to a kind of a solid film and it'll stay there, but it will prevent the track from oxidizing or getting dirty. Now, as you can see right here, this nickel silver track, but this is brass track, and that's brass track, and that's brass, nickel silver, brass, nickel silver, might be steel. I think this is steel and nickel silver, and I got them all mixed in here. And I haven't had to clean them for over a year, and they work just fine. Oxgard was tested way back in the 1960s by, I believe, Lynn Westcott and John Armstrong. You know, the titans of model railroading. And back then, they thought it had promise, but it wasn't as good as it is now. The other thing I do, as you can see here, you can probably see that on these rail joiners I used Oxgard. In fact, I used Oxgard on every rail joiner. And then I nail in my track because I am using the dreaded, oh my god, yes, that is particle board. The stuff you've been told never use, that's what I use. And I put cork tiles on top of particle board. The thing about particle board is it's prone to warping. And it can get wavy. And it does. But I know that. And so I use Oxgard in my rail joiners. And this wall here is subject to extreme temperature changes. And a little warping goes on. But because none of my rail joiners are soldered, and they are all protected by this dielectric grease antioxidant compound, Oxgard, they're protected by that, they always work. And I don't have to clean them. In fact, going down this line here, see all those switches right there? Those are a mixture of, they're all number 4s. Most of them are brass, and I don't have any problem whatsoever taking a locomotive across that at any time, and I don't have to clean it because they're all coated in Oxgard, and leaves room for expansion joints. So when a little warping does occur, I don't have to worry about it because my track is made to handle that warping. And it works great. If I had soldered this, what would happen is during a temperature change, and just sometimes this particle board will warp like that. In fact, I'll show you one down here. During a temperature change, now I don't know if you can see this. Oops, right here. There's a good, like an 1/8 of an inch up. And that warp happens every year. And I don't really worry about it because my joiners are Oxgarded. So they have flexibility to move. And on this one, I stuck some cardboard shims under there to level the track. And it's not a problem. But if you go with glue on top of foam, then you've got to be really, your track work's got to be, literally, it has to be perfect to be reliable. Mine doesn't have to be perfect to be reliable. And I use a little nail. You see there's a nail head right there. And this brass track, it's hard to tell that it's brass because what I've done is I've used the same color super dark brown Rust-Oleum primer from Walmart on my brass track, and everything that's painted pretty much looks the same regardless of whether it is brass, nickel, silver, or steel. And I don't mind mixing them, and as long as they got this coating on them, they're conductive. They're highly conductive. They work better than regular. They work better than just plain old clean track. And that's the good stuff. So if you're looking for it, this is the stuff. And you get it at Home Depot and Ace and Lowe's and Menards, and it's really easy. It's tough to find in the store because not many people ask for it. You have to know. You just look for it. You'll find it in the store. They'll look it up for you, and that's the stuff. That's the magic stuff. That's how I do it.